All right, what's up guys? VV back with another video. And in today's video, we've got some green jewelry Bonney action lined up for you today. That's right, this is a very strong deck in the format currently, and I'm going to show you guys the list that I've been messing around with in today's video. Okay, so let's do this, guys. Let's get straight into it. Let me lay out the video real quick so you know what we're getting into. First things first, we're going to check out the deck list. After that, we're going to hop over to the sim. We got 5 games to go over on the sim, and then we're going to head over to the deck list one more time, and we'll talk about some last-minute revisions and, you know, what I think going forward with the deck. I'll tell you guys what I think about it. Okay, so with that in mind, I'll have everything time-stamped in the general description, and I'll have all relevant deck lists and links and things like that down in the comment section below. And if you guys have any comments, questions, or suggestions, please do not hesitate to put those down there in the comment section below as well, or hop on the VV Theory Discord. One more thing I want to mention is on, for those who are interested in doing, like, online locals, things like that, hop on the VV Theory Discord. They are now doing, okay, I say they, it's on my Discord, but Beams, he's my main mod in the server. He hosts on the Discord community style locals now it's going to be every Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Okay, so for people who can't make it to a locals, or if you just want to play online with friends, things like that, they do it in a tournament style. It is a free entry, so there is no prize support. And because of that, you don't have to have the physical cards. You can play on the sim. Okay, if both players have the physical cards, you can do a webcam game. But other than that, you can just play, you know, on the sim with whoever you're going against. And they have like a little bracket system. It's a really cool setup they have. And they're going to be doing that now every Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And I believe it's going to start at 9 p.m. Eastern. But be sure to hop on the Discord and check with Beams on that when you get there. Okay, so again, I want you guys to know that. That's the first thing. One more thing I want to mention real quick too before we hop into today's video is we are streaming on YouTube every Monday, excuse me, every Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday from 9 p.m. to 12 a.m. Eastern. So be sure to stop by and check us out on there too if you get a chance. All right, so let's go and break down the deck list for today's video. We're going to start off with the leader for any of the new players, any of the newer players listening in, or people who are swapping over to Bonney. This is a 5,000 power, 5 life green leader. Jewelry Bonney is a supernova Bonney Pirates type, and it has the effect of when your opponent attacks, once per turn, pay 1, and then rest up to one of your opponent's leaders or characters. Very, very powerful effect, very defensively oriented, right? Like that's the mindset here, is when your opponent goes into attack with one of their characters or leaders, you can rest one of their characters or leaders in response. So you're basically negating one attack every single turn as soon as your opponent has 2 or more attacks, as long as you can stand 1 Dawn as active, you know, as long as you have 1 Dawn active on your opponent's turn. So with that in mind, the leader is very powerful. Now, we're going to read through the list here, and I made this list in a very specific way. We'll talk about it as we go through it. I tried to make it as, I don't know the technical word for it, but I tried to make it as modular as possible, where we can really move some cards around if you're building on a budget, okay? I understand that this, just so everyone knows up front here, I did a market watch yesterday at the time of me recording and putting this video out, and Jewelry Bonney is easily the most expensive deck in the entire game right now when you run 4 of this card Cavendish and 4 of this card Zorro. But I'm going to show you a way to build it today where you can probably get around that using this this format for the deck. Okay, now that's not to say this is the best deck in the format the way that I've built it here. There's probably arguments for a better build somewhere else that costs way more money, but I'm trying to keep this as competitive as possible while also being able to lower the price point down of the deck for the newer players trying to get into the game. Okay, so please keep that in mind when we're going through today's deck list. Now, first up, we have Cavendish. We're running 3 Cavendish. I'll talk about this more in just a minute. We're going to spend a lot of time talking about Cavendish. We're running 4 Scratchman Apu, 2 Killer, 3 Eustass Kid. Please pause, guys, if you're a newer player and you don't know what these cards do. Most of these are older cards now. I'm going to mouse over each one. Make sure you pause and read what they do if you need to know, if you don't already know. We're running 4, so 3 Eustass Kid, 4 Rosinante, 4 Hody Jones, 2 Zorro, 2 of the Jewelry Bonney, 2 Carrot, 3 Smoker, 4 Tashigi, 4 Bonney, 4 Scratchman Apu. Let me just say this right now. The 2 Scratchman Apu in here are just searchable 2K counters. That's basically all they are, guys. Then we're running 2 Shanks, 3 of the zero cost event. Whoever wins this war becomes Justice, 2 Radio Knife, and 2 Straw Sword. Okay? Now, Let's really break down a few different spots in this deck. First of all, the only new cards in this entire deck are the Smokers and the Tashigis. Like, these are the only new cards, excuse me, and Radio Knife. These all came out in OP10. The 2K counter Tashigi, the Smoker, and the Radio Knife all came out in OP10. Everything else is from OP09 or before that. So let me break down the Cavendish first. I built this deck in a way so that you can actually modify the deck and make it more budget friendly by removing the Cavendish. You can actually take all 3 Cavendish out of this deck to go +1 Smoker, and you have 2 spots left. And the card that I would recommend in that spot is actually a 5-cost card. It's a 5-cost card named Carrot. Okay, Carrot is a 5-cost, 5,000 power 2K counter. It is not searchable, but that's okay. It has end of your turn set up to 1 of your Dawn as active. And understand right now, I'm not saying this card is better than Cavendish. It's just a decent replacement for the time being, how we built this deck. Another option in this spot here for Cavendish is the 4-cost. I don't know why I didn't just type it in. It is the 4-cost Uruj. Okay. 4 cost, 5,000 power, 1K counter blocker at the end of your turn, set up to 1 of your Dawn as active. Okay, so again, I'm not ever arguing that this card is better than Cavendish or just full-on replaces it 1-to-1. But if you are building on a budget, it is a pretty decent replacement for the time being, and the deck should still function pretty much the way it should, okay? So you'll be able to add this to your deck over the Cavendish. You'll be able to go up 1 Smoker, or if you just don't really care about the Dawn standing effect, you can go the Carrots too, the 5-cost carrot we were just looking at. But if you're not worried about restanding Dawn, if that's something you're just going to worry about later when you get better at the game, no problem. You can go +1 this Jewelry Bonney or +1 this Carrot, another 5-cost carrot that can lock characters down. Okay, now there's one other spot I really want to focus on, I really want to lock in on, is this 9-cost Zoro. You do not have to run Zoro in Bonney. Is it a strong card? Yes, it absolutely is. I've always been someone who's had pretty good success playing this deck, just, on a more casual level, admittedly. But I've had a lot of success never running Zoro and instead just running the 10-cost Doflamingo. Let me find that real quick. This card right here. This can lock down your opponent's board. It is extremely powerful at doing what it should do, just locking down the board, dragging the game out a little bit further, and then winning on the next turn when you start getting more and more advantage on the board. So you can just replace this Zoro with this 10-cost Doflamingo, or we've got other options as well. You can replace the Zoro with a Shanks, or another Eustass Captain Kidd. Again, I'm not sure if the right word for this is like modular, but I tried to make this deck as modular as possible where you can just move stuff around accordingly and still be able to run this at a locals without having to drop about $400 USD currently. Again, we did a market watch yesterday at the time of recording this video, and this deck was over $400 at the time, and over, I think, $300 of it was running 4 Cavendish and 4 Zoro. Okay, well, if we can take the price of that out, or if we could take those 2 cards out of the deck, then no problem. We can drop the price of this deck down much further and still be able to have a good time with it, and it should still function pretty well. Okay, so with that in mind, that's really the main thing that I had to talk about in today's deck breakdown. I think everything else is pretty straightforward. I did try Radio Knife, and I was pleasantly surprised. This is a very good card. Let me pause and read this if you're more of a visual learner, but I'm going to read the card now. It is a 4-cost event. The trigger can rest up to 1 of your opponent's 4-cost or lower characters. That's okay. That's just added benefit. But the main thing here is the effect. Main, rest up to 1 of your opponent's cost 6 or lower characters, and then KO up to 1 of your opponent's rested 5-cost or lower characters. It doesn't really matter that it can rest down a 6 or lower for us as long as it can KO with a 5 or less, right? We just need to rest down a 5 or less and KO a 5 or less. That's the perfect target for us, so we can deal with opponents' Cavendish, with opponents' Smokers, and things like that. Other 5 costs in this game, excuse me, for those who are not aware, 5 cost is a very, very strong point in this game, so make sure you have answers to that in whatever deck you build. And then we are running 2 Straw Swords here. This is a card that came out all the way in the beginning of the game back in ST02. That's all the way back in Block 1. Okay, it's a 2-cost event here. Main, rest up to 1 of your opponent's characters. This is your way to get around Blackbeard. This is your way to tap down characters you need to attack into. It's just a great utility piece. And notice what this is, guys. This is a Supernova searchable card, just like the Radio Knife is. These are both Supernova searchable cards. Okay, other than that, I will at least go over Smoker because it is one of the new cards in OP10 we have access to now in the West. Smoker is a 5-cost 7K, no counter, but it has Banish and Activate Main set up to one of your Dawn cards as active, and then you cannot set your Dawn cards as active through character effects for the rest of this turn. So make sure when you're comboing this with Cavendish, make sure you do things in the correct order where you attack with your Cavendish first or play it out first if you're about to play it, and then use the Smoker's effect to stand a Dawn as active, okay? Because if you use the Smoker's effect first, then you can't use the Cavendish. Okay, something to really keep in mind when you're building. Okay, and I think that's about it. Everything else should be pretty straightforward. If you have any questions, of course, ask down in the comment section below. Let's do this, guys. Let's hop into the sim and see what this deck can do. All right, so first game up, guys, we got against Blackbeard. Volume is off, and speed is on 2x. And here we go. So let's see. It looks like I've got a... Yeah, I'll say that was not a great hand, but this next hand's a little bit better, maybe, arguably. You know, it depends on what you think. Not a great pull either way, though. So we get to go first. This game's going by very quickly. We go first. We pass because we had no searcher, and now going into our opponent plays out a Dock Q on curve. Very solid start for our opponent here. And but we're going to swing for 7 because we don't have anything we can do in our hand right now. We're going to swing for 7, and we're going to leave 1 Dawn as active. So now if he chooses to attack, we are going to rest that Dock Q and get rid of that next turn. So they do get a searcher event here. They get to fix their hand a little bit. They're going to go up to 4 Dawn. Okay, they're going to swing for 5. We're going to rest down the Dock Q. We're probably going to deal with that. We do counter out with the Cavendish here because we do not have a lot of counter power in hand at all. We just need to make it to the late game in a healthy spot. So we're going to get rid of that searcher there. Pause. This new Smoker coming in very handy even over the Cavendish. In the matchup against Blackbeard or Teach, Smoker is arguably even better than Cavendish. You know, I mean, I guess not literally better. They're both very strong. But if I play out Smoker on curve, and my leader effect, or excuse me, and the Marshall D teaches use their leader effect to turn off my own play effects, I get to stand a Dawn as active with my activate main with my Smoker. Whereas Cavendish, we would have no Dawn active right now. So Smoker is very strong, guys. It's a very strong addition to Jory Bonney. Okay, they're going to go ahead and use their stage searcher here. They also paid 1 for another searcher. They're trying to fix their hand, and let's see what they choose to do. They're going to play out Lafitte, very nice, and then they are going to hit our Smoker with a Finger Pistol. Seems good. That's less than ideal, but here we go. Watch this. They're going to go ahead and use the leader effect here, so now we have no on-play effects, but that's actually going to work out in our favor. Watch this. We're going to go 8 into 7 here. We play out Hody Jones. Wait, guys, why didn't I lose a life from the Hody Jones? What happened? Why didn't I lose a life there? Remember, guys, remember what the Marshall D Teach effect does. It turns off our on plays. So now we don't get to rest down their Dawn or characters, but what we did get to do is still have Rush, because that's just built into the character. Okay, so let's see what they choose to do now. They only have 2 cards left in hand. They had a 2K counter out to get out of that attack there for the Burgess. Or maybe it was a 1K, I don't remember. But either way, it pushed their Burgess into a 9K for this turn. Their Burgess is getting very big here. And they have 2 Dawn left. They play out the Kuzan, playing out a Shiryu just to get a 4-cost 5K on the board, I guess. If that's the case, I don't know why they even did the Kuzan effect there. Maybe just a cycle. And let's see what they choose to do now. They have 2 Dawn left. I know they have a Vasco shot. They did reveal that earlier in the game. They're going to go 9 into 8. We are going to save that card. It's pretty much the only gas we have left here, right? So here we go. They're going to swing in for 5. We are going to take that. And now let's see what they do. They're going to play out a Vasco shot. Okay. No, not bad. Not terrible. And let's see what they choose to do here. They did turn off our on-play effects for the turn. I'm going to swing 5 into face here. I'm going to swing 8 into face. He gives me a blocker. Okay, well, now that changes things. Now that changes things. We're gonna play out the Zoro. I was thinking about swinging in again with the Hody Jones, or maybe not. Maybe I should have swung into the Burgess a few times. It's hard to say. There were a few different options we had there. But we're going to slam down this Zoro and say, I'll tell you what, you're going to have to deal with this thing. You know, maybe not this next turn because he turned it off with his leader effect. Or excuse me, with his 10-cost characters effect. But hey, the next turn you're going to have to deal with him. That's for sure. 10 into 8, we are going to cash in on this 2K counter and the 0-cost 3K. We're going to save that. We're going to go 5 into face. He's going to take it. We're just beating him down right now. Okay, he did choose to take block with his Marshall D Teach, and now I have a free shot into something on the board here. We're going to go 8 into 7. Why not 9 into 7, guys? What's my follow-up play? Pause and try to figure it out. Why didn't I do 9 into 7 here? That was deliberate. It was deliberate. That's right, from Lord of the Rings quote there. We're going to play out the Rosinante now. We have a blocker, and we have our leader effect. Does he want to swing in here? The answer is yes, he does. Well, I've got, okay, now he did shut down our leader effect because he played out the Marshall D Teach. Very well played there. We're going to block, or excuse me, we're going to let the card go, and we still have Rosinante here to save stuff if we need to. Now, right here, I think we might just need to let this go. Unfortunate, but I think we should just let this card go, and then when he goes to swing it for 5, we'll take this hit, and we can deal with everything next turn. Okay, we get a 2K counter. We do have to 2K counter out of one of these. I should have used the Scratch Manapoo, to be honest, but that's okay. All right, so they do cycle out. They turn off our on-play effects here with their leader effect, but watch this. We are going to swing for 12 into the Marshall D Teach. They do not have a blocker, and they do not have a card in hand, so it's gone. I play out a blocker. Pause. Guys, how are we going to survive? How are we going to survive right here with only 1 life? Remember what our leader effect does. Remember what our leader effect does. We can tap down a character with our leader effect, and we have 2 blockers and the life. So realistically, they're going to attack 1 time, and with that 1 attack, we're going to tap down their other attacker, and we still have 2 other blockers for their remaining 3 attacks. And we have a life. So we're actually in a much safer position now than it seems, and we still have that looming threat on the board. That is a 9-cost Zoro just waiting to be unleashed here. They're going to go ahead and trash this Liberation here to do a top search. They only find a Burgess. Okay, so I know the only card in their hand now. All information is known to me that I need, and now it's over. This game is over, right, guys? They cannot shut down my 9K swinging attack here for next turn with the Zoro, and they cannot go through for lethal this turn. If they attack in with anything, I'll rest their 10 cost blocker. So again, we're going to swing for 5. Of course, this is going to go through. We'll see what they get. They probably get some type of effect here to KO something. Yep, that's fine. But now it's going to be swing 9, stand it up. We have to use the stand-up effect here just in case they get a negation effect. Okay, let's see what they got. It was nothing. We swing through for 9. Now we stand them up. Actually, we're going to go out with some class here. We're going to swing 7 into 5 with the Liberation. Okay, it's a good thing we stood up our Zoro there with the effect, right? With the effect first, because look what they had in hand. They had Liberation. Choose up to one of your opponent's leaders and characters, negate its effect for this turn. So then we would not be able to stand up our Zoro if we had not used it that turn. But now we can swing regardless and smash through with the Rosinante, you know, and win through those means. Really good game to my opponent there. That was a wild one. Bonney can really stick around if you have enough blockers to stand, you know, to spread out on the board and use your leader effect appropriately. Really good game to my opponent. That was a fun one. That was a fun one. Okay, that was against Blackbeard. Next up, we got a game versus Red Shanks. Volume is off, speed is on 2x, and here we go. Red Shanks is another, Blackbeard, Bonney, and Red Shanks, those are probably the 3 most popular decks in the format right now. I could be wrong about that. I think Purple Luffy is somewhere in that conversation as well, but those are very, very popular decks alongside Red-Green Smoker. We're going to get to go first. We play out a Bonney on curve this time, so that's nice. Let's see what we choose to do here. They're going to use the leader effect to shut off my attack. That's fine. We're going to play out the Rosinante, and we're going to pass the turn. Does he want to attack? Because I will tap down that building snake. He said, nope, no, sir, I do not want to do that. Actually, very smart. Very smart of my opponent to not use that. Okay, we're going to play out the Cavendish. Now we get to do things a little bit differently. We're going to use the Jory Bonney here, and then we are going to search for a card. We get the 5-cost Jory Bonney, and we're going to pass the turn. We don't swing with our leader here because he can just block. Right, he doesn't have to, there's nothing we can do. There's no reason to swing. So they're going to swing 5 into 1 here. We're going to tap down the building snake. We're going to let the Jory Bonney go. There's no point in saving that right now. We're doing just fine. We're curving out nicely. And he's on his 6th dawn turn, so he can't even bend Beckman my Cavendish off the board right now. We're in a very good spot. We're going to get to cash in on some value here. Okay, here we go. Y'all see what's happening now. We play out the Hody Jones, tapping down. Pause. We have to talk about some things right now. Hody Jones is one of the strongest characters in the game right now. Just understand that right away. Now, yes, we could have tapped down their Dawn so they can't play something like a Red Rock, or excuse me, Red Hawk, but we don't care about that. We're actually not worried. If they want to get rid of my Rosinante right here to go down a card in hand, I'm completely fine with that. We're not worried about that even a little bit. So we're going to swing 4 into 2 here. Look at this. They do choose to use their leader effect. They're going to 2K 1K to save, or 2K 2K to save that, that card. We're going to go 6 into 2. I mean, guys, he's not keeping this card. I don't know what the idea there is, or what the idea is there in saving that. But hey, we're going to get rid of it. And now we're going to pass the turn. We have 2 Dawn is active, and we're going to be able to rest whatever he plays here. Okay, just kidding. He does get rid of my Rosinante. He's going to go 5 into 4. We're going to rest down his blocker here, more than likely. Or we could rest down the Rayleigh and play out our 9-cost Shanks on curve. Okay, we have some options here, guys. We have some options. I think that is for sure the right play. I might try to save the Shanks, though, for my opponent's Shanks. Okay, very odd play here. Sometimes I rewatch these games and I don't know what's going on, but hey, here we are. They're going to use the effect there. We're going to swing in with our Cavendish. It doesn't go through. It can't go through. And then right here, we're going to attach a Dawn to the Eustass Kid. We only swung with the Cavendish there to give us some active Dawn. We'll swing in for 6. Now he does take that. We're going to rest this down, playing out the Rosinante. We have a Dawn active. We are in a great, great position right now. Okay, let's see what our opponent chooses to do. They're going to play out the Newgate. I love that. That is a very good play by my opponent. They're going to pop my Rosinante. They're going 11 into 8. We're going to rest down the Chopper here so we can keep going for board control. And they're going to swing 11 and 8. We're just going to let this go, I think. I could have saved it, but should I? I don't think so. We'll give him a 2K counter here to save the Cavendish. 6 into 6. We'll give him a 2K. It doesn't matter. It doesn't really matter. Okay, so now this card is a threat on the board, but we can do so much right now. Let's see what we choose to do. We're going to go 6 into 6. This will probably grab the leader effect. I love when Shanks does it. Let me just explain something, everybody, real quick. People will use the Shanks effect thinking that they're doing... How do I say this? People might think, like, yeah, but I just used the leader effect and it was able to save me a card from my hand. So it got value immediately. It's like, yeah, but now how are you going to save the other cards on your board from my other attacks? You know what I mean? You have to really pick and choose how you do that effect. But hey, people can play however they want to. That's fine with me. So right here, we are actually... It looks like we might swing with the Cavendish first. I don't think we should. Very good. We're going to play out the Shanks here. Now we're going to swing 6 more into 6. He's just giving me his entire hand. 9 into 6. There's no way he saves this, right? That would cost 2 cards from hand minimum. And now, whatever he plays out, I have a 9-cost 11K on the board. I have a Dawn as active. He's not going to get 2 attacks off this turn. Oh, very, very powerful there using the Otama, but that's a 2K out of hand. And now I can rest down his Beckman. Notice what I keep doing, guys. I'm like, you can have all these attacks you want. He didn't even attack into me because it would give me cards. He did not even attack into my face, guys, because it would give me cards. He's terrified. My opponent is terrified right now, and he should be. Like, he is in a very, very tough spot. And the more cards he gives me, the worse this game gets for him. 11 into 7, he could leader effect and get out. Okay, he chooses not to, and he just locks down my Bonney. Okay, well, we're probably still just going to go for this Shanks, right? Or, excuse me, this Rayleigh. We probably did things slightly out of order, but when he did take that hit there, I'd rather get some cards out of hand. So this right here will cost him a card from his hand, and that's what I'm trying to do. And then we get to follow up with a 5 Dawn Bonney here. Beautiful. Thanks for the card. Your guy doesn't get to untap next turn. I dare you to attack into my Shanks, and here we are. We're in a very good spot, right? So pause to understand what just happened. Okay, they do play on a Monkey D. Luffy. Is it time to go for face? It's fine with us. Now, and let me say one more thing, too. I've got a few things to say. Number one, you absolutely could have developed the Zoro right there. That is an option. There is 100% legitimacy to that. You could play that card out, develop the Zoro, and go for game next turn, or just eat his board up continuously. There's a lot of options you could do there. But in this position here, I'm actually just trying to keep my opponent's hand at 1, and I'm just going to try to turtle. Just turtle up here, just, basically go fortress mode and just keep having more value from my cards. Okay? All right, here we go. They're going to swing for 11 into 11, attaching a Dawn. I'm going to tap down the Otama here. I don't even care about I'm literally begging him to attack into my face. Okay, he might oblige here. Thank you very much. We will take that. We will take that card every time. And now we can do some damage. We're going to go 11 into 8. He can't get out of this one. We're going to go 6 into 6. Does he have a 1K counter? Okay, sure. Now I attach 2. Swing in for 6 more. That card's gone. We play out the Bonney. We're searching cards. We're playing out blockers. We're playing the TCG out. Your turn. I'm not going to use my leader effect this turn, but the game is now officially over. Right? From this point on, there's basically nothing my opponent can do. They do get rid of the TCG there. That was pretty nice. We're going to block and draw a card from the block with the killer. They're going to go 3 into 1. Okay, that's fine. That was a good play, actually, and that's why I try to keep the board as low as possible. We're going 5 into 0 here. And again, it might seem like we're slow playing right here, guys, but we're not. We're literally just making sure our opponent has no chance to get back in this game. We're trying to make sure our opponent has no chance here, and I'm going for an OTK next turn at 3 life. That's my goal now. I can rest one of his attacks here. What's he going to do? 7 where? He's going to go 8 into 6. We're going to use our leader effect to tap down the Shanks, and we're going to just let the Bonney go. Because remember, we have 3 attacks from Zoro and 1 attack from Shanks and 1 attack from our leader. We only need 4 attacks to get through. We have 5. 7 at 5, we're going to take that. Okay, the trigger rests of 4 or less. We're not going to use that. And they have 4 Dawn as active. So here we go. We're going to swing for 5. You want to use your leader effect? Thank you very much. Now we're going to go for 11. Well, actually, like I said, guys, I am just going to keep taking this board down to nothing. Attach that Dawn, cheating that card out. I should have attached the Dawn to the killer. That was a misplay. Okay. Whoopsie. Speaking of misplays, pause. Pause. Speaking of misplay, they just played out a Gum Gum Mole Gun, trying to KO my blocker, and then -5 to my kid. Why didn't it work? Guys, why did it not work? Gum Gum Mole Gun requires you to have a 6,000 power or higher character on the board. He has no characters on the board, so he does not get to use the extra effect. Okay, and that's gonna wrap it up for sure now, right? There's no way out of this one. Okay, we're gonna not use leader effect, block, and now here we go. And yeah, it's gonna be swing 7, 9, 4 9s, and an 11. Yeah, they're just gonna go ahead and give up. Good game to my opponent, but yeah, they were in a tough spot there. Remember, guys, with Gum Gum Mole Gun, you do have to have a 6,000 power or more character on the board in order to get the KO effect. Now, the subtraction effect, the -5k, you can use anytime. But if you want to get the KO effect for a 2,000 power less character, make sure you have a 6,000 power or more character on the board. Okay, next up we got a game versus Yellow Eustass Kid. This is another very popular deck right now. I've been trying to get some more meta matchups for everyone. This Eustass Kid deck, I'm a huge fan of how this plays. I'll probably be spending more time on this leader in the future, talking about Yellow Eustass Kid. So we get to go first, which is really nice. I think we would prefer going second sometimes. It really just depends, but going first is fine. We'll take that because we do have a very good 1-3-5 curve. Okay, you know, we didn't see Cavendish. We are not seeing our Cavendish here or our Smokers, so we're in a tough spot. But we're going to swing for 5 here. This will force a card out of hand or a card from life. They give us a Nami. We'll take that every time because that's a way to deal with 5-cost characters. And yeah. So we're going to go and rest down their leader here, and we save our card. So that was a little bit of a cheeky play, and we top deck a Cavendish. We'll take it every single time. Did everyone see what just happened there? They're going to swing for 2 into our character. Okay, well, we have 2 Dawn active. When attacking, we're going to rest down one of our opponent's leaders or characters, resting down his Captain Kid. And now we're just going to 2k counter out of this Jory Bonney and use it next turn. Right, so that's what just happened there. Just want to make sure everybody saw that, because that's going to potentially come back to haunt this guy, especially when we top decked the Cavendish perfectly. So now we go 5 into 2. That card's gone. We're going to play out the Cavendish. Now we stand a Dawn as active. We use the Searcher Bonney here, and we search up another Cavendish just in case he gets rid of this one. Okay, they're going to go 6 into 1. I'm going to rest down their leader. Again, we're just completely slowing them down here. This is really rough for my opponent. Okay, so let's see what happens here. We could attack into the Kikinojo. There's definitely an idea there, but watch this. Instead, we're just going to lock it down. We're going to go 7 into face, standing 2 Dawn is active. He's going to use the blocker right now. We'll go in for 7 more, and he's going to take that. We're going to pass the turn. We have a Dawn is active. This is where Bonney is in her element, okay? Now, every single time they go to attack, you lose 1 attacker every single time. They're swinging in for 9 into 6. I can 2k counter out, but I have another Cavendish in hand. We're going to 2k counter out. I kind of like the idea of just letting that go, but hey, we chose not to do that. That's fine. They're going to play out a Searcher here. They have 6 Dawn left to work with for the turn. I'm surprised they did not. Okay, they're going to use a Nika Robin to burn my top life card. I think they should have developed the 7-cost 9k there that we knew was in their life. We'll go 7 into 5. Okay, let's see what they choose to do here. Probably cash in on the blocker right away in this situation. Okay, they choose not to. I'm fine with that. We'll swing in for 6, or excuse me, for 5 more. He gives me a 1k counter. We play out the Smoker. We swing in for this. We play out the Carrot there. We stand a Dawn up at the end of our turn with the Smoker there, and we're in a very good position now. Did everyone see what happened there? Hopefully everyone saw that. Let me pause. We played out the Smoker to get some Dawn rested, attacked him with the Cavendish. He used the blocker, and then we locked down the their Cavendish with our Carrot. Okay, and we have a Dawn active. This is slowly getting out of hand for my opponent. I've got some very, very powerful cards on the board. I keep activating a Dawn with my effects that do that with Smoker and Cavendish, where I'm getting all this extra Dawn value out of every single turn, and I'm just abusing my leader effect in the board here. Okay, 8 into 6. We're going to rest down their leader, and we let the card go. That's where I think I probably should have played out the Cavendish last turn, but that's okay. Okay, they're going to play out Eustass Kid to rip another card from my life. Very annoying. And standing him up as active to give him blocker. We're going to use our Jewelry Bonney here. Very nice. We see a Eustass Kid. We have a blocker in hand. If we play this out, swing in with Cavendish, we'll still have 2 Dawn left for the turn, and we can go from there. We're going to swing 5, swing 6, swing 6, swing 7, and have a very strong turn here. Watch this, guys. We're going to swing for 6. Let's see what they want to do. Let's see what they choose to do here. We're going to swing in for 6 more, I think. Yeah, that's what we should do first, is swing for 6. Let me make sure the speed is on 2x real quick. It is. Okay. Swing in for 6. They give us a 2K, and now we're swinging for 7. They're going to use the blocker. Very nice. And then we're going to play out this Eustass Kid. We're going to attach a Dawn. We're going to rest him to play the killer over the Jewelry Bonney. We're going to attach a Dawn, stand a Dawn up in a turn with a Smoker effect. It's a bad spot, guys. It's a bad spot to be in. This is a bad spot to be in. It's too bad we could not have drawn more cards from our life, so we had more cards to defend this Eustass Kid with, but that's okay. It's not the end of the world, right? It's not the worst thing possible. Very nice. Hody Jones is going to help us draw cards, isn't he? Okay, so now what is my opponent going to choose to do? Are they going to try to keep attacking into my Eustass Kid here? Because they would like to develop cards on the board as well. Okay, very nice. They're going to play out the Trafalgar Law finally, and then they're going to be able to swing for 9 into my Eustass Kid. That's very strong. We're going to defend out, though, because I know he can't get through. And now this turn, we are going to get very aggressive. We're going to get very aggressive here. We rest down the blocker, and now we are going to probably go for his board. Okay, we're probably going to go for the board. I like going 7 into face first with this Smoker, just to continuously rip cards from his hand or from his life. Let's see what he chooses to do, because look at his life card. That is a draw 2 trash one. Okay, so he did take that, or he did counter out. So he only has 2 cards left in hand. Okay, 7 into 6. I stand 2 Dawn as active. Give me all those cards. That's right. Oh, okay, he's starting to learn, guys. He's starting to figure this out, what's going on here. Okay. We'll see what happens here. I'm taking a little bit of extra time here because I want to make sure I don't mess anything up, right? We're going to try to make sure we don't mess anything up. We'll go 6 into that, and Kikinojo does have the on KO to gain a life, but we don't really care. Because if we take this entire board right here, their life doesn't matter anymore, right? The amount of life they have isn't going to matter because we just have too much tempo, too much momentum. We're going to go 9 into 9 here, and then probably 9 more into 9, or 11 into 9, would be or 10 into 9, rather. No, yeah, we are not even going to take the chance here. We're just going to go 11 into 9. That card is gone. Use my Smoker effect. I'm going to swing for 5, and here we go. They do take it. No trigger. And there goes their board. There goes their entire board. Now, we do not have any counter left in hand, unfortunately. But remember, we're going to be able to tap down their leader after this. So they're going to need something, and they have 3 life. So they can't even swing in with an ace afterwards. We're going to take this hit. We're going to let that attack go through, and we couldn't defend it with Eustass Captain Kid, and here we go. We've got another Hody Jones in hand. Guys, this is getting dangerous. This is getting really dangerous for my opponent. Pause. They do tap out, but understand how this turn was going to go. It was going to be 9 into this card right here. 9 into their 9-cost character, right? I have the carrot to lock down their Cavendish, and again, I'm probably going to play out the Hody Jones. I'm probably going to play out the Hody Jones here and go about things that way. Okay, and I'm just going to keep eating their board up. I'm going to get rid of this Kikinojo. These cards are all going to be gone. The only card they're going to have left on the board is a Cavendish that will not become active on their next turn because of my carrot. Okay, and from there, we're going to try to win on the following turn with a massive board. Good game to my opponent. We had him in a terrible position, though. Okay, next game we have against Red-Green Smoker. Okay, volume is off, speed is on 2x, and here we go. Red-Green Smoker, another very popular pick right now. Red-Green Smoker operates in a very similar way to Bonney. I think it builds very much like in a fortress way, but our leader effects are very different. So we're going to be going first again, okay, and we're going to be swinging in for 7 and probably just leaving 1 Dawn active for our leader. Okay, let's see what they choose to do here. They should attack first. They should definitely attack first, or I'll tap down whatever they put down. Okay, a little bit of improper sequencing there, unless he just wanted to swing for 7. That's fine with me. Excuse me. It looks like they're coming to that realization now. Like, yeah, maybe I shouldn't have done that. The answer is no, you shouldn't have. We're just going to smash in for... it looks like we might smash in for 6 here. Yeah, smash in for 6. Does he want to give me 2 cards from hand? I won't be upset. That'll be 2 cards from hand. He'll be down to 5 cards. And we have a Cavendish on the board, and we should be able to curve out nicely this game. Because one curve that I really like with Jewelry Bonney is the 5-cost Cavendish or Smoker into 7-cost Hody Jones into 9-cost Shanks. That is a very, very strong curve. It is a very high impact curve. Okay, let's see what they choose to do here. They're going to swing 8 into 5. Probably going to just take this. We're going to tap down the Virgo, of course. And here we go. We'll go 5 and 3. No reason to save that card. And now we're probably going to tap down the Smoker with the Radio Knife. Get rid of that. I wish I could have done more, but that's okay. We'll swing in for 8 now. Standing 2 Dawn is active with a Cavendish. We're going to follow up with a Rosinante blocker here. And we'll have 1 Dawn for their turn in case they try to do something, you know, in case they mess up with their sequencing again. Getting the Smoker off the board was very important. Okay, getting the Smoker off the board was very, very important. That new Radio Knife coming in handy. That new Radio Knife, very, very strong tech card into pretty much anything. Okay, they're going to do this again, guys. They would rather be able to swing higher with their leader than actually protect their board. Because if they swing for 5 right here, I will just 2K counter out. That is true, and then they can develop these bodies. Whereas if they swing for 7 here, I'm probably just going to take it. But it looks like they wouldn't have been able to do that properly with their leader effect going into mine. You see what I'm saying? Because then I get to tap down their board. They're going to go 7 into 6. That is not the right play because I can 2K counter out of that very, very comfortably. But what do I want to tap down? We're going to tap down the Nami. We're going to tap down the Nami here so we have something to attack into next turn that he might want to save, and we're okay with that. We want him to try to save that so we can keep getting cards from their hand. We're going to play out the Hody Jones. I tap down a Dawn and a blocker, so now they will not be able to use the new 2-cost event that they're running. I think it's called a Kamakura Jutsushi on the sim. Right here, we're going to swing in for 11. They're going to take that. We're going to pass the turn. We have a Dawn is active. We're doing just fine now. Yeah, that 2-cost event is very strong. It's the one that does plus 3,000 to you for the battle and minus 2,000 to one of their characters for the turn. Okay, we got a big mistake here. They played out a Gum Gum Mole Gun without having a 6,000 power character on the board. That's the second time that's happened in today's video, right? That's the second time that's happened in today's video from our opponent. Please make sure you do not make the same mistake, guys. They're going to go 7 into 1, but we're going to use our blocker there. They have 4 Dawn remaining for the turn. They play out a Chopper blocker here. Seems good, but I just don't think it's going to do enough. We're going to attach 1 Dawn to our Cavendish, swing for 7, untapping 2 Dawn. They're going to block here. Are they going to block and counter out? Because now we have something to attack into. This is absolutely beautiful for us right here. We're going to attack 6 into face, and then we'll probably go 8 into face. We're basically saying, I don't care that you have a blocker. Like, that blocker doesn't matter because of my leader effect. You only get to attack with 1, right? You either get to attack with your leader or you get to attack with your blocker. Choose wisely, and that's always going to be negated by my leader's effect. Okay, so they're going to play out the Nami. I think they should have attacked first again because I did not rest my Eustass Kid. Okay, we did not rest Eustass Kid here. I am daring my opponent to do something here to give me more cards in hand, so that way I can go about things that way. Okay, so here we go. We're going to go ahead and swing in for 9 here. It looks like a few times, and that's just going to... Okay, 5 first. How annoying is a 5K attack? How annoying is a 5K attack? Yep, that's a card from hand. Swing in for 8. Does he want to use his 7K blocker? He sure does. We'll swing in for 9. So 7, 8, 9. We'll go ahead and play out another Eustass Kid. We'll rest this out to play out the killer. And now we have just about no way to lose this game, to be honest. Now, I did not put a Dawn on the other Eustass Kid. That's fine. We're not worried about that. And we did not put a Dawn on the killer to draw a card. We just need to stabilize and make it through one more turn. That's it. Okay, very nice. They play out a Hody Jones, which lets them rest down my, my killer and my Dawn. They only choose to rest down my killer. Now my Dawn is active. So big mistake there. Very big mistake for my opponent. I don't know why they wouldn't choose to rest down my Dawn. They might be a new player. That's fine. They might be a new player. We're gonna rest down the the Sanji here. We have enough counterpound hand. It didn't matter, guys. They're not getting through. Even if, like, say they did that properly and rest down our Dawn. Number 1, they're playing on a blocker. And number 2, they only had 3 Dawn left, so they could swing 9 into it. I have a 2K counter in hand. So, you know, it just doesn't matter here. This game's over. Good game to my opponent, though, but this is unwinnable for our opponent here. No Dawn is active either. Okay. So block this one. Or use the back route effect to go to 7K and then 2K, 1K out. That's another option. but then they have to block the next one, and then a 5K finishes the game. So they're coming to that realization now that they're just like, okay, yeah, I guess I can't do anything. There's that card we were talking about, the 2-cost event. They don't have Dawn up for it, and they're going to counter out fully. And we swing for 9, and then we swing for 9. Good game. That was a fun one. Okay, they did make quite a few mistakes, but hey, that's why we watch these videos, to learn from the mistakes that happen. Okay, next up we have our final game, our 5th game here versus Buggy. How does Bonney do into Buggy? And the answer is, I think it does okay. I think it's not like just a free win or anything like that. It's definitely a struggle in a lot of ways, especially if they get a strong board. Okay, they swing in for 8 on their turn 2. Now, we're going second now. Finally, we got a game of us going second. I'm going to swing in for 7 here, play out the killer, and I don't have to leave a Dawn active because there's nothing to rest down. There is no card to rest down. Okay, they're going to swing out for 5. We're going to take it very aggressively. I'm trying to get to my top end. We took that hit very aggressively. They get a Sanji's pull off. Seems good. We're going to lock down one of their Dawn here, playing out that was basically our only play. We're going to take this hit. We are just taking hits left and right. We did rest down their leader with our leader's effect, and we're going to try to do things next turn. Okay, what do we do now? We're just kind of going to try to blitz them down. We'll swing in for 5. They take it. That was a little bit interesting. And now we do have some other stuff we can do here. We're going to swing for 6. Gives me a 2K. I'm going to... It looks like I was about to play out the good old-fashioned Hody Jones there. I would have loved that play looking back. I love that idea, looking backwards, guys. That would have been great. But no, I like the risky moves. I like to push the limits with each deck to see what it can handle. So here we go. We're hoping they don't have pudding. They're going to swing 5 into 1. We're going to tap down their leader. Proper sequencing. Tap down their leader with our leader effect, and then we're going to block out with the killer to draw a card. Very nice. We get a radio knife here. We do get a radio knife, but right here, I think we're going to try to just end the game. Right. So ultimately, right here, they have no blocker. They have 2 Dawn as active. I don't know if there's any events that Buggy's running. We're going to go 5 into 5. Okay, let's see what we choose to do here. Okay, maybe we're going to try to set up to win next turn. That's what it looks like. Okay, Eustass Captain Kidd. Okay, all right. That card is going to come in very handy. We'll go 6 into 5 here. I'm starting to smell blood in the water. We're starting to smell blood in the water here. We're going to swing 6, swing 6. They counter out and did whatever they were. Very nice. And we're going to play out this Eustass Captain Kidd, attach a Dawn, and then we're going to play out the Tashigi. So now, yes, it's true I don't have a blocker, but I do have a lot of cards in hand. I have a ton of counter power in hand. I have Tashigi. They can't red rock my character. We'll see what they choose to do. I have 2 0-cost 3Ks, a 1K, 2K, 1K, 2K, 2K, and a 1K in hand, right? Like, we're doing all right here. They swing in for 9. We 2K counter out. They swing in for 10. We'll 0-cost 3K, giving him a 1K or something like that, or it might have been the radio knife. They go 10 in. We got another 0-3 there for them. You got 2 Dawn left. What are you going to do with it? What are you going to do with it? I just don't know. I can tell you right now what they should have done was played out a Buggy. Playing out a Buggy would have been a good play there if they had the option. All right, we're going to swing in for 5. But I think it's just over. It's just going to be 7s all day, right? We'll swing in for 9. Okay, swing in for 7. Okay, wow, look, see, they had 2 Buggies in hand. So the red rock they could not do, so just let me stop you right there if you're thinking about that play, guys. That's not the right play because I literally just rest my Tashigi and save my guy. However, they had double Buggy in hand. So let's go back to this turn knowing that they have double Buggy in hand. This is how I would have dealt with this turn as the Buggy player. So here we go. This is the turn. They have 10 Dawn. So the play right here is actually to just play out so pay 5 with your leader effect. Remember, guys, if you're new to Buggy, that leader effect is not once per turn. So I can do it twice in one turn. Pay 5, play out the Buggy, right, and get rid of my Eustass Kidd. Okay, I will stop that with Tashigi. Then do it again. Actually, never mind. Instead, get rid of the Tashigi first, and then do it again with the next Buggy, replacing replace the 7-cost Buggy on the board. That thing, you don't even need that card anymore. So they could replace the 5K and the 7-cost Buggy, get those off the board, and replace them with huge 10-cost 12Ks, and that would be able to get rid of my Tashigi with the first one, and then my Eustass Kidd with the second one, and then yes, that would cost their entire turn, but they'd be able to swing for 5, 7, 7, 7 afterwards. I have 2 life. I'm not losing anything. I'm not even going to lose a character on the board, but it was still their best play. I think that was technically their best play. Trying to swing everything into my 8,000 power character when I have, what, 10 or 11 cards in hand, that was not ever going to happen unless I was just magically bricked up in the worst ways possible there, you know? Okay. All right, let's go over the deck list one more time just to kind of finish things out. We never got to see Straw Sword in action. I just never saw it. For whatever reason, I just never saw the card. But everything else was running pretty well. The Shanks was doing fine for us. The Zorro does fine. Eustass Captain Kidd is excellent. It's kind of the main card in this deck. This is the whole Fortress style. And now that we have access to cards like Rosinante and Tashigi, and then we have other blockers randomly, excuse me, that we can cash in on, like Killer. Remember, Dawn ×1 on block. If you have 3 or more characters, draw a card. It's just really good. It's just, you know, everything is coming together very nicely here. We really have 10 main targets to push out with Eustass Captain Kidd. It is Tashigi, Don Quixote Rosinante, and Killer. Those are our 10 targets to pop out with the Eustass Captain Kidd, and they protect him very well. Carrot was an all-star in the game against Yellow Eustass Kidd. Bonney, always coming in clutch at the right times, just locking stuff down, being an absolute nuisance and developing a card along the way. This Cavendish does what it does. There's a reason this card's so expensive, right, guys? It's very, very powerful. Smoker, a great addition to the deck from OP10. 2K counters, we know what those do. 0 cost 3K. We could probably drop down -1. We could probably drop down a single 0 cost 3K. I think that would be fine. And then put that card in any spot you want to. Go up another Cavendish if you want to do that. Go up a Radio Knife. Go up a Straw Sword. Whatever you want to do. Okay, literally whatever you want to do there. All right? So, with that in mind, that's pretty much the entire list. I am going to do one more thing. I do want to just mention a few cards to consider one more time. We did talk about this earlier. For the more budget options, let me just show you guys something. If we get rid of the Cavendish and if we get rid of the Zorros, I think this will make the deck very budget. Let me make some additions here. At that point, I think we do go up the 5 cost Smoker because it's not searchable. We have to be careful with that, searching over it with our Jewelry Bonney. But we'll go up 1 Smoker, and then for the other 2 spots, actually, what did we get rid of? Oh, we got rid of the 2 Zorros as well. So we'll be able to bring in the 2K counter Carrot or Urouge. Let's actually go with the Urouge for now, the 4 cost for our even curve. We can go in 2 Urouge, or we could even do 3 of those. We could keep it at 3 Smoker and go 2 Urouge and go from there. And then for our top end, remember we got rid of the 9 cost Zorro, so we can go up 2 of this Doflamingo. Or you could go up another Eustass Captain Kidd. You have a lot of options there, because that's another thing you could do, actually. You could go up to your 4th Eustass Kidd and then go up another Shanks. That's another very strong option here that is much more budget-friendly. Okay, just to keep that in mind. But yeah, that's about it, guys. That's about it. All right, I'm done yapping. Hope you guys enjoyed. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. Tell me what y'all thought about the list. It was running very well. I wish we could have seen this card in action, but it does have a lot of utility. I think it's good to have. We might go down to a 1 of this card and maybe go up another Radio Knife. That is another possibility. Maybe that's a better option, just to have a single Straw Sword for if we absolutely need it, and go up another Radio Knife to help combat, fight against cards like Smoker and Cavendish. Right? All right, I'm done. Hope y'all enjoyed. Please don't forget to like, subscribe. Let me get the outro going here. Guys, if you're supporting me in any way, shape, and form, I really appreciate it. Guys, whether you're liking, subscribing, sharing, commenting, viewing my stuff, using my TCG Player affiliate link, if you're helping me out through Patreon, PayPal, donations, Playmat supporters, YouTube members, Discord community, I really appreciate it. Thank you guys so much. Again, in whatever way you're helping me out, I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. All right, I'm done. What else? Don't forget to hop on the stream tonight, guys. We should be streaming tonight at the time you're recording this. Hopefully you're not listening to the future, and I don't want to ever lead someone astray there. I'm trying to say, if you're watching this video at the day of me releasing it, we'll be streaming tonight. We stream every Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday from 9 p.m. Eastern to 12 a.m. So be sure to check that out. Come hang out with us. And one more time, I want to mention, if you like doing the locals type stuff and you don't have a good local scene, hop on the VV Theory Discord. Link is in the channel description. They're having tournaments now every Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, starting at 9 p.m. Eastern. All right, I'm done. Hope y'all enjoyed. Till next time, peace.